Let's talk about some politics stuff, can we, for a minute before we go into the main event?
The main event.
Let's talk about it. So, Biden.
Is this where I say I'm wrong?
Today is his birthday. He's 81 today. I didn't do my birthday shout outs, but yeah. I missed him.
Biden.
My bad.
Biden, I think he's 82.
81.
His birthday is today.
Yep.
And he is facing a historic situation for an incoming president.
Yes.
Having a uphill battle as far as he looks like he's projected to lose right now. He's getting killed with millennial voters. A lot of it has to do with his foreign policy. People are not feeling his foreign policy, aid, a variety of other different things. So, all right, we can give our weekly predictions on who we think is going to become president, but I think that it's important to look at the money behind it. So, lobbying, extremely important. Over $10 billion, they said, will be spent this cycle on campaign contributions and lobbying. And this is what people, I think, don't fully understand. It's not a democracy. It's paid for by the highest bidder. And whoever has the most money purchases a candidate, and the candidate does whatever they want them to do. And if they go against what they want them to do, then they fund their opposition's campaign, or they create a smear campaign and they get them out of there. And this happens in local politics, state level politics, national politics, and the president. There's no different. But it's interesting. Who do you think is the number one lobbying group in politics last year, 2022?
In terms of money being spent out?
Who spent the most money on lobbying? So campaign contributions and lobbying are different.
Two different things.
But who do you think spend, and anybody in the chat can...
That's a great question.
Can answer as well. Who do you think, what group spent the most money in lobbying politicians in 2022?
Can we do a Family Feud style?
Yeah.
It's probably going to be third on the board.
I'm going to go first and let me see if it's number one. NRA.
No.
No, is it on the top five?
I think they're third.
Is it in the top five?
It is not. It is not in the top five.
They're not in the top five anymore.
I gotta ask. Yeah, you go.
Hey Steve, how you doing? I'm gonna go with Pharma, Big Pharma.
Pharma is in the top five, but they're not. Okay. They're not number one.
Okay.
So let's go through.
This is a good game show.
Yeah, it is. It is for sure. Let's go through the top 10. Actually, 1, 2.
Am I in the 10?
Who'd you say?
I said NRA.
NRA.
I didn't think they would be number one. I know that they're probably in the 10. They're not in the 10.
Number 10 is NCTA, the Internet and Television Association.
Okay.
They spent $15 million last year on lobbying. Mm-hmm. Number 9 is Comcast.
Okay.
Interesting.
Media.
Number 8 is Business Roundtable.
Okay.
Number 7 is Amazon. American Medical Association is number 6. Facebook.
Good folks over at Meta.
Blue Cross Blue Shield.
I know who number 1 is.
Apple got to be in there.
Manufacturers for American Hospital Association. A lot of healthcare companies.
Yeah.
By the way.
Notice the trend.
Number 3 is the Pharmaceutical and Research Lobby. Mm-hmm. Number 2 is U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Number 1.
Really? U.S. Chamber of Commerce is 2?
The number 1, very surprising. The number 1 lobby group last year, National Association of Realtors.
Wow.
Really?
The National Association of Realtors lobbied to the tune of $84 million last year. And like I said, there's hundreds of millions of dollars that's spent on campaign contributions, different things like that. But as far as lobbying, the National Association of Realtors were number 1 in 2022. Who knew?
I definitely did. I thought I knew number 1. I know. I wasn't.
Xander said he knew. I didn't know.
He knew that. He's a bright young man.
What are your thoughts on why realtors would be spending so much money? Are they threatened? Do they?
Absolutely. I mean, because if you look at Zillow, Redfin, when they tried to push that wave, also BlackRock, Vanguard, Blackstone are now becoming competitors.
Mm-hmm.
and people are more afraid interest rates are high. Shout out to all the realtors who listen. I appreciate you. Just close your ears real quick. And when the internet is saying now is not a good time to buy, while the realtors are saying it's a great time to buy, you have divergence in thought versus what's best for the business. So I think they need to lie because they are in fear for sure about if things are going to be more stable. Like for the first time in, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years, I don't even see people excited to buy a house. And the crazy part is if interest rates go lower, housing prices are going to soar and we're going to have a bidding war again. Yeah. So you're stuck. Either now you have to pay more on the mortgage side and you're going to be ate up by interest, or you have to wait until the interest rates drop, but then the cost of the house is going to go up.
Yeah.
So that's really fascinating. I didn't know that.
So the interesting thing, a lot of people put, they thought that AIPAC was going to be up there, and that is the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. And, you know, they spent in 2018, they spent $3.5 million on lobbying, which is a relatively, it seems small, but it's a relatively large amount for foreign policy. But through campaign contributions, this is where it kind of gets tricky. So it's been reports that this year they're going to spend $100 million to defeat 5 candidates. So they're spending $100 million this year on 5 candidates. I think they call them the Jamal Bowman's part of that crew. The crew.
Yeah.
What's the name of it? Can we research that? Research department.
Gotcha.
These are extremely. They're more liberal. This is a very liberal crew in the Democratic Party. They've taken a pro-Palestinian stance. So they're spending a war chest of almost, allegedly, that's what they've been reporting, of $100 million. So it's interesting to see how different groups fund different political agendas, different political parties, different candidates. And we even, Wall Street, last presidential cycle spent $2.9 billion on lobbying and campaign contributions, 47% of Wall Street's money. Who do you think Wall Street spent the most money on? Another crowd engagement. If Wall Street spent almost $3 billion for the last presidential cycle, who would you assume got the lion's share of their spending?
I think this is
Trump.
I think that they spent it evenly.
The Squad is the name of that Democratic.
I was waiting for the Squad. I had it for you.
You said that you going with Trump, Ian?
Yes, that's what I'm gonna go for. Survey says
if they said 3.5, if they said 3 billion, I think 1.5 and 1.5. They have interest on both sides.
Close. They spent 47% with Republicans and 53% with Democrats. The number one person that got the most money was Joe Biden with $74 million.
I was close.
I can divide. That's one every 2.
So that's interesting because a lot of people, you know, they just automatically assume that Wall Street is always going to be in favor of the Republicans. Like you said, they split their bets. Any intelligent political lobby party always splits their bets. You have to split their. You have to split your bets. That's how you really lobby efficiently. You give money to Republicans and you give money to Democrats.
Gotta hedge it.
That's what you have to do. But Wall Street. I didn't learn this until I started working in finance. Wall Street usually favors Democrats.
That's true. And the stock market has done better under Democratic leadership too. So that makes sense. Boom with Clinton, boom with Obama. Rest in peace to Jimmy Carter's wife. God rest her soul.
Rest in peace.
But yeah, normally under a Democratic regime, things do float a little bit better for the stock market.
Yeah. Somebody said, when do you work in finance? That's crazy.
Rashad.
No, this is the first time viewers. Shout out to everybody who's the first time viewers.
Yeah.
This is how you used to feel in 2020 when I used to go crazy.
Like what?
Shout out to if you type my name in Google, it comes up as American basketball player. So
true.
That's fire.
Yeah. So some people might not know my background.
That's the bot said you said it in 40 episodes straight. So they said he must be an American basketball player.
Yeah.